All right, Cancer, welcome to your Wheel of the Year 2020 Guide to Planetary Retrogrades. I'm going to be doing the 8 turns of the pagan calendar, going from Yule to Samhain or Halloween, so from December to October. I'll tell you the dates as I'm going along if you don't know them, and explain when the different retrogrades are going to be happening in between all these holidays. So I'm going to go over all the retrogrades while I'm going through the energies that are going to be affecting Cancers most this year. Alright, so let's get started. Now, coming into October last year for your readings that I did at the beginning of the year last year and the Midsummer Solstice update showed that you were going to be making a lot of hard decisions and gaining confidence, and a time of kind of reckoning or end of a major karmic cycle happened for you over 2019. So you're letting go of all these things that used to affect your confidence as we're entering into this. So the energy for Yule, December 21st, and the energies that you're going to be experiencing right before the end of the year, I got Justice, which is taking a higher detached viewpoint and really asking yourself, am I being fair to others? Am I being fair to myself? And are others being fair with me? And you're really stepping back and you're looking to who is genuine and who has been not holding up their end of the relationships, whether that be work or love. And this is something that has really been draining your creative energy. So all these relationships or all these things are, if it's just one relationship that you're really focused on, you need to take a detached viewpoint from it coming into the Christmas season, coming into Yule, and really focus on who is draining you. If it's just draining you, then it's not healthy. If every time you talk to this person, for whatever reason, you keep talking to them, but all they ever do is drain you, it's time to really evaluate why you keep putting yourself in that position. So right after Yule, going into January, on January 20th, we have Uranus going direct in Taurus. And that is going to be a lot of people are getting ready to start accepting all these new changes. So of course the duality is really going to happen. You're going to have people that are recognizing the world is changing and they're moving into the changing phase, and then you're going to have the people that are trying to fight it. So that's what the Uranus going direct brings more people over to accepting the way things are now, accepting these big changes, and just even in your own life and around you, people accepting your new order and your new healthy boundaries that you've set for yourself. By Imbolc on February 2nd, I see new communications coming in and new ideas, but be wary because I have a feeling this could be a very immature, excitable energy. So whatever they come offering, make sure that you review anything, review it very closely. And review them. If it's a person coming in with any type of love advances, review them too. Like really watch them. See if what they say is what they do. Because if they say they're going to do all these things, but you watch them for a couple of weeks and you never see them do the things, that's something to watch out for. That's the energy that this card comes in. This is all excitable, energy that comes in. But with it also, I see you transitioning and moving into a new phase. So this is going to be a lot of letting go of the old pattern, bringing in those big changes, and moving into a new phase of your life. And there's something that's going to come in to give you that burst of inspiration there around the beginning of February. Now, right after this, on February 17th to March 10th, is our first Mercury retrograde. And it's going to be retrograde in Pisces to Aquarius and then back into Pisces. So this is going to bring a lot of time to reorganize your priorities. You're going to find yourself being overextended in certain areas, and those type of things are going to start to cause you a lot of drama during this Mercury retrograde in particular. So it's a time to really reorganize your priorities and make sure that you're prioritizing yourself and prioritizing the things in your life first, and not allowing putting other people and situations that aren't yours as a priority in your life, and that ends up being detrimental to you. Going into Ostara on March 20th. I see you moving on from a lot of things. Moving on so that you can be your authentic self. So you're moving on so that you can, she's walking away from all these cups, the party's over, she doesn't want to drink out of none of these cups, she knows what's in them, she's ready to walk away. And then this is the 10 of clubs reversed, so this is putting down all those burdens you've been carrying. So by the end of that Mercury retrograde, by the time it goes direct, by the time Ostara rolls around at the end of March, you're going to be ready to put down all these extra burdens that you've been carrying. So going from Ostara to Beltane, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn on the 25th. And this is going to be a very underlying thing, and I see this as more of like, you know, business and work related stuff that it's going to affect the most. And it's going to feel like little certain things are burning to the ground. Little ideas that you were trying to get going, but they're not working out, or whatever. Little things that have been not really fitting in are going to start like burning to the ground. They're going to start popping off. It's a very subtle energy, but just be mindful of the universe. Don't get into the universe is punishing me because I can't get any of my ideas off the ground. Don't focus on things that aren't working out. When things stop working out, start looking at what is still going good, because that's what the universe wants you to focus on. Retrogrades just highlight areas that you're supposed to be getting rid of or supposed to be working on. All right, so going into Beltane on May 1st, I see stabilizing forces, you know, things are paying off. This could even be a kind of windfall, an inheritance or something along those lines. But material-wise, things around you are starting to settle out and starting to smooth out, and you're starting to be in a more comfortable position materialistically. But with this, I see this coming in as kind of a shock, or kind of, you're going to be wary of it. Now, you're going to be wary of it. Why? Because you've been told it's supposed to be hard, and you've been told it's supposed to go this certain way, and it's not really going that way, but it's still working out, but it's going to make you question it. For some of us, we just have that problem. As soon as something good starts to happen, you start to go, oh no, the other shoe's going to fall. So just be mindful that, you know, that's a program you're running. Things are supposed to change. You know, things do work out. You know, good luck does happen. Don't let that inner little voice that tells you if it's too good to be true, it can't be true, program slow you down when you start to get this energy going and flowing around you, and things are just coming to you so easily. All right. Now, with all of this, and this is where this is going to actually play into a lot, I think, for you. Going into Beltane to midsummer, which is June 21st. So going from May to June 21st, we have 4 planets in retrograde. You got Jupiter going retrograde in Capricorn on the 14th. You got Saturn going retrograde from Aqua to Capricorn on the 11th. And you have Venus going retrograde May 13th. So this is a little trifecta, and it's going to give you an opportunity to really examine where old philosophies have been holding you back. And with Venus and Pisces, it's going to be really emotional. That's the 2 fish. It's a water sign. It's in its element with Pisces. So it's going to be temptations are high and willpower will be weak. So going into the summer, you're going to get a lot of temptations around you. I mean, it's the summer. People are feeling good. All that jazz. And with the 4th, with Saturn, I've been telling everybody, the only time you're going to have problems in a Saturn retrograde is if you're cutting corners with the universe. If you're trying to find a way to sneak around having to actually do the work, or if you've been hiding that you're skipping steps, that's when Saturn's going to sneak up and get you. But if you are playing fairly and you're pulling your fair share and you're not trying to circumnavigate the universe, Saturn's not going to give you too much of a hiccup. But with all these high temptations, the 4th retrograde is our second Mercury retrograde of the year, and that's in Cancer on June 8th. And that's all going to be, don't get distracted by past loves. So going into the summer with Venus and Mercury, so most every summer, that's why this is hot girl summer is a thing. It's just a natural human thing that we end up doing. They're going to come out of the woodwork. You're going to get messages from exes. You're going to get lots of distractions. Temptations are going to be super high. And it's going to be making you question a lot of the old philosophies of where things have been working out and where, you know, what steps you need to be taking and what is old programming telling you you need to do it this way and why do you think you need to do it this way. Asking yourself those questions. All right, but don't get distracted from what you're working on. Don't get distracted from this that's paying off because you've got these people coming in. So by midsummer, I see you really holding your own. You're living up to your own ideals. You're living up to your own honor code here. You're really in control of your emotions. He's holding his cup very steady and like he's ready to offer people a sip, but I don't think he's going to let go of it, and he's not going to spill any of it. He's got it completely steady. Now with the King of Cups here, you have the Queen of Cups right on top, the Queen of Hearts here. And she's all about mastering your feminine energy and no longer being baited and triggered and manipulated by people pulling your heartstrings and whatnot. She's standing firm in her ground. She knows she's, you know, badass in this deck. So you've got the King and the Queen, a perfect balance of feminine and masculine energy balanced during the summer for you. That's actually the best I've gotten for that for all the signs. Yeah, so by midsummer, Cancers are going to be rocking it this year. Now going from midsummer to Lunasa, we've got on August 1st, we've got Neptune going retrograde in Pisces on the 23rd. And that's all going to be about shattering illusions. So you, I think, standing this confident in yourself and standing firm on all this and just being your authentic self and doing your own honor code, it's going to really surprise a lot of people and they're going to show you their true colors. When you stop caving into everybody and stop being manipulated by everybody, that's when people fly off the handle. That's when you start triggering people with your healthy boundaries. And that's going to shatter a lot of illusions with you with this Neptune retrograde in Pisces on the 23rd of June. So it's going to be right after this phase. You're going to stand firm in yourself and then boom, you're going to see all this stuff popping off around you and people showing you their real colors. And it's going to be a lot of things you feared and a lot of phobias are going to come true because you were right about these people the whole time. That's how your intuition works. So, going into Lunasa on August 1st, I have you back in the Queen of Cups mode. You're still mastering that feminine energy. You're not being dragged into it. You're expressing yourself through love and beauty and intimacy, and you're not letting anybody deter you from being your authentic self. You are still firmly holding your emotions, and you're even minding your words a bit here. So it's more of a passive holding control of your emotions. But this is going to come with the Seven of Cups reversed. I like to call this the player card or the player energy that's going on around you. So this is going to be people around you or a person around you that's kind of got that player mode. Also, with you being so firm in your feminine energy, be mindful that you're not sleeping around, running around just with anybody and everybody. Be mindful of the connections you're making. You didn't just get rid of a bunch of toxic connections to just turn around and jump back in the same kind of toxic connections. So be firm in your energy, be who you are, go out, have fun, do all that, but be mindful of those around you. If somebody is around you that makes you feel great, but as soon as they leave, you feel drained, that's not a person you want to hang out with. Those are emotional vampires. They amp you up, and then as soon as they leave, they'll find something negative or some way to get you in a negative thought pattern, and then they'll just zap it all from you. Now, be mindful of people that when you're both done, you both have happy, amped up energy, and everybody maintains a nice, happy energy the whole time. Now going from Lunasa to Mabun on September 22nd. So this is going to be going from the beginning of August to the mid-September. You're going to have Mars going retrograde in Aries on September 3rd. And now, Aries energy is a very, besides Mars being combative, Aries energy is very accident prone. We trip over our own feet a lot. We're kind of like, I get the goofy pit bull of the zodiac. You know, we're goats. We're just leaping around. We have fun. But with that, you're accident prone. So you're going to get a lot of energy telling you to rush, battle your way through, get to this point, go, 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 go. Be mindful that you're watching where your feet are landing, because you can get so distracted by what's around you that you're not paying attention to where you're stepping, and you can step into some pretty nasty holes if you're not paying attention with that retrograde. So that's what you need to watch right here. Now for Mabun on September 22nd, I see you're laser focused on something that you're passionate and inspired by. So you're getting this laser focus on what it is you actually want, and you're ready to start. That's the inspiration. That's the rush. It's going to try to be rushing you to this thing you suddenly have laser focus on in a way that you haven't had in a while. But with it, as always, comes with the shadow aspect of it. And this could be caused by some people who feel some heartbreak. Whenever you come out of this, like, player-esque attitude, I'm going to say this. This feels like a lot of love for you guys. So, for an example, if you've been entertaining a bunch of people in your DMs, and then all of a sudden all this goes down, and then boom, you're laser focused on one person, all these people gonna be upset behind you, or someone around you will be upset behind you. You know, it could be you were single for a long time, and now as soon as you start to laser focus to date somebody else, an old ex pops up that came up over here and caused you a bunch of turmoils and shook you up into this low vibe. They're popping back up like, you know, why am I not good enough? But this other person you're laser focused on is. So that's for Mabun at the end of September. Now going from Mabun in the end of September to Samhain or Halloween on October 31st, you got our final Mercury retrograde, which is going to be Mercury going from Scorpio to Libra and back again. So this is that hard exterior with the stinger, you know, energy into a very vocalizing your emotions energy. So you're going from guarding your emotions and biting your tongue and standing back and waiting for an attack so that you could sting somebody, to I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel now because I don't know why I can't stop talking, to back into now if you say something about what I just said to you, I'm going to sting you again. So just be mindful that's going on, and be mindful that if you're being defensive, you're not just being defensive out of fear. You're genuinely holding some sort of healthy boundary, or you genuinely have a argument. Don't just argue just to argue, just because you're worried they're going to do something. Don't fight with people unless they give you a reason to fight with them. And don't argue with people dumber than you. That is excellent advice. All right, so final set going into the end of October, beginning of November, October 31st to November 1st. I see you gracefully now juggling your emotions and your intuitions. All these little trials are really going to give you confidence in listening to your intuition. You'll be able to juggle your emotions, your intuition, your money, and love will be balanced. All that will be balanced, and you'll just be able to be moving through this world with a little bit of grace and not struggling so hard anymore. You'll be out of that struggle frequency and into a more graceful frequency, carrying along the this energy here. This energy is going to go through this shift and all these retrogrades, and then this is where you're going to end up. You're going to end up where it's balanced, where you're comfortable, where you can easily, infinitely keep pulling that around. And I see you really embracing some new skills either higher education or some sort of social thing that helps build and brings you higher learning about something you're already naturally gifted in. So if you've been looking into what kind of clairvoyance or claircognizance or anything like that, this is going to be when you're confident enough to start working with other people to genuinely start nurturing their skills. If you've been in some sort of work for a long period of time, this is going to be something that higher education to get you a better pay raise. This is going to be those kind of things coming to you here at the end of the year. And last but not least, right after Samhain, before we go into the Yule season again, Mars goes direct in Aries. So you're going to be fighting this push, go after this thing you're laser focused on. But then suddenly when around November 4th, when Mars starts to go direct again, you're suddenly going to feel like it's easier to move in that direction now. Now you feel your feet landing firmly on solid ground and you're confident of the path that you've chosen. All right, Cancer, I think I got all the messages that I can get out of this. Oh, I know what I almost didn't do, and I did for everybody else. I wanted to get you guys an oracle card just for whenever you're hitting a rough patch. You know, I try to tell people when it comes to the way I read, the bottom cards are generally your higher self and the main energies influencing each thing, and the top cards are like the shadow aspect of it. Those are the shadow energies because we just exist in a dualistic dimension. That's just how it rolls. For every good, there's a bad. For every time your intuition speaks up, your ego responds. That's just how it all goes. Ooh, fairies and earth magic. So with all these wonderful pentacles that you have around you and all this grounded energy that I'm seeing with the Queen and the King of Cups coming out like that, this is going to be whenever you're starting to feel overwhelmed, go someplace beautiful. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I live in the swamps. I think they're beautiful no matter what time of year it is. They're always either covered in flowers or covered in vines or covered in orange leaves. And it's just gorgeous whenever I go out there. This is going to be connecting to that kind of frequency, that fairy energy, that fae grace. And the fae are awesome. Fairies are awesome. Fairies are very dualistic in nature as well, just as angels and dragons and everything else. Fairies can be sweet little sprites or they can be devilish little pixies. It really just depends on how you treat them. All right. So that is your Wheel of the Year 2020 Planetary Retrograde Guide for Gemini. If you guys liked it, please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll put a link down below where you can get more free card readings and cards and coffees and affirmations. And we sometimes do a digital Reiki box where you guys can do Reiki healing and all that fun stuff. In our group, The Coven, The Silver Cord, and I'll put that link below as well if you're interested in following along there. And I'll talk to you guys later.